In today's episode, we conclude with part 3 of the interview with Veenu Keller. In today's episode, she shares the importance of trading expectation for appreciation. And she throws in a bonus question, a world-class question you do not want to miss.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. You know, you're a superstar in helping families and kids through difficult times. What's your greatest parenting weakness?
My greatest parenting weakness, I get too emotional. I get caught up in the story. I get caught up in wanting too much control because I have an expectation. And what's been great about this is recognizing what my weakness is and learning how to change that. And by doing so, helping families. And what do I mean by that? Trade expectations for appreciation. What does that mean? It means that when you have an unattained expectation, that is when you get angry, frustrated, and you lose control. So what if we didn't have an expectation of our children or our partner and we just appreciated what they were doing at that moment and found the gift? How much more life could you actually live where it was more fun and easy versus hard and difficult?
Yeah, and it doesn't have to look the way you want it to look. I remember I was going through a difficult time with my daughter, and I wanted her to do yeah, you know my daughter quite well. And I wanted something to look a certain way. And I remember a good friend of ours, I was upset about what was going on. And I'm like, why won't she just listen? And she said, not my daughter, but this woman said, well, what do you want for your daughter? I'm like, well, I want her to be happy. And she goes, you want her to be happy or you want her to be happy the way you want her to be happy? I'm like, I want her to be happy the way I want her to be happy, of course. And she's like, interesting. So it has to be your way. I'm like, yes, in order for her to be happy, it has to be my way. And she's like,
rules.
Yeah, exactly, my rules. And I realized, she goes, well, is that more important than her being happy? And I was like, oh, that's a tough one. Well, I want her to be happy, but I want her to be happy my way, of course. So I was kind of in that loop. And when I let go of it having to look the way I want it to look, and I just wanted to get the outcome of her becoming an amazing young adult and being happy the way she wanted it to look, that's when things changed. And
look how amazing she is now.
Yes.
So one of my other weaknesses is that I'm a yeller. I like to yell.
Yeah, you can get emotional. You've got a...
I can. I'm a firecracker. Light my fuse and watch me explode. And I have no shame in the game. Like I'm being very raw with you all. You know, that's my weakness. That out of everything, let me tell you why I yell. I yell because I want to be heard. I yell at my husband because I don't feel my husband is hearing me. I yell at my husband because I don't feel like he sees me. I yell at my kids because I don't feel like they hear me. I yell at my kids because I don't feel like they see what I'm trying to teach them. And I am finding strategies to not do that. And one of the biggest things goes back to appreciation. That's why I said it's my weakness, is my expectations. And, you know, we have rules. And just like you said, Thor, you had rules to your daughter being happy. Unfortunately, they didn't align with her rules of being happy. So again, we have to listen to our children. Ask a better question, get a better answer. Your whole life will change.
If you had it to do all over again, what would you change to make it better?
Nothing. I would change absolutely nothing in my life. If I changed one thing, I wouldn't be here talking to you now. I would not be the person, the woman, the parent, the mom, the friend, the coach. I wouldn't be that person.
I completely understand that you would not change anything. Tell us one thing, though, that you could have done better 10 years ago, or wished you had done better 10 years ago.
I would have fell in love with myself a lot sooner. I would have found out that every part of me is love. That to appreciate the things that you look in the mirror and you, God, I don't like that. God, I don't like that. to look in the mirror and say, what can I appreciate about that part of my body I don't like? What can I appreciate about that birthmark that I don't like? What can I appreciate about my fat neck that I can't stand? What can I appreciate about that? It's really about, that's what I wish that I would have maybe enhanced earlier in my life.
Okay.
I think that would have enhanced the quality of my life.
Tell us some core beliefs that support you.
One of my core beliefs is you're doing everything that you can do because of the knowledge you have. So what that equivalents to is doing the best that you can with the resources you have. That is one of my core beliefs. My other core belief that is new to me, but it's a beauty, is if you don't ask the question, it's still no. So take a chance, ask the question, because there's a possibility it's a yes, and that yes can change your life.
I love that one. You have 90 seconds to depart wisdom to your twins. What do you tell them?
I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. The Ho'oponopono prayer to create this opportunity for my children to grow even more and understand that forgiveness is the most powerful tool that you can have in your life, even at the age of 4. Being an example of what a beautiful state is versus all the suffering.
Veenu, as a single mom, how did you get it all done?
I never worried about the how. When people look at my resume, their first question is, how did you do it? Get through school, work 2 jobs, raise 2 kids. How did you do it? I never worried about the how. I look back now and I did everything that I knew how to do. I loved my kids and I had to prioritize what was the most important thing for me at that time. And what was the most important thing for me was my children. I had to make sure that they had the same quality of life that my ex-husband and I were able to give them when we were together. And how could I enhance that? How could I make it even better for them? And their father was not in their life during those 10 years. He was in and out. So I not only played the mother role, I played the father role, which is great. And at the same time, I don't know if my kids ever got to understand about femininity because they always saw that masculine mom who had to make a plan and execute. I had to be able to put food on the table. I had to be able to make their award ceremonies. I had to be able to make their practices. I had to enhance the quality of their life through sports and make sure I was there. And at the same time, I wanted a social life. At the same time, I had to find out what was I looking for in life and how did I have to get it. And how did I do that? I got a coach. I got strategies and I executed. I followed through. So to sum that up, make a plan, find out what's important, what are your non-negotiables, get strategies, and take action.
You bring up a good point about being a single mom, and not even single moms, but so often the women nowadays have to take on such a masculine role. What do you tell the women out there in order to switch from that masculine role that is needed, quite frankly, and switch over to the feminine when needed as well?
It takes practice. You have to ask yourself, what makes me feminine? What makes me feel like a woman? Is that dancing naked in your room? Is it singing songs? Is it growing your hair out? Is it wearing makeup? Is it getting your nails done? Is it self-love, self-care? I would have to ask that person individually, what does it look like to them? Because what it looks like to me may be different.
Well, what does it look like for you?
For me, it's being very vulnerable. It's being able to cry and know that that doesn't make me weak. For me, it means that I'm comfortable with myself. And for me, it means that I don't have to take on everything. I don't have to be a doer. I could actually flow through the moment.
Beautiful. Veenu, share with the audience how they can get in touch with you and find out more about what you're doing.
Great. My website is veenuinspires.com. That's VeenuInspires.com. My Twitter is Veenu Inspires. I have Facebook, which is Veenu Inspires /aspirations. And my email is veenu.aspirations@yahoo.com. And I'm also on LinkedIn.
Veenu, we're at the part in the interview that is called the Rapid Fire Execution Round. In 1873, Cattleman designed a .22 revolver with 12 shots. You're going to have 12 questions to answer in 2 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Most meaningful book you've ever read?
Think and Grow Rich.
What is your top priority in life?
Being the best version of myself.
What's the most useful app you're currently using?
Facebook.
Someone said Tinder.
I'll say Facebook.
Name the skill that you have that you're most proud of.
Speaking.
Number one thing you'd like to learn in the next 6 months.
How to grow my business.
One thing you were told that turned out to be the most true.
I am loved.
Your favorite thing to do when you're not working.
Snow skiing.
One thing you must do every single day.
Have gratitude.
What is your top goal for 2016?
To create a bigger business.
Name one thing you did poorly last year, but you do better this year.
I ask questions. I didn't ask questions last year.
How old were you when you knew you could be successful?
13.
The person you trust to tell you the truth about yourself, even if you don't want to hear it.
My mom.
No question there.
No. She told me I was fat the other day. She goes, wow, you're looking pretty fat now. Oh, thanks, Mom. No filters.
Person whose phone call you'll always take no matter what.
Joe Williams.
I love that guy. So speaking of Joe Williams, what is your favorite quote by Joe Williams?
Be curious, not critical.
Ah. You know, it's interesting. That's a line of thinking that I've adopted for myself, and it is so powerful. It drives my girlfriend crazy. I'm like, instead of getting mad about this, why don't you just become a little curious? And of course, she picks up something that she wants to throw at me.
Be curious about this. Well, honestly, it takes you out of judgment, right? Because
It does.
if you're curious about it and you're not critical about it, then you get more curious. And if you get more curious, guess what happens? You get more strategies. You get more strategies and you execute them, you'll reach the goal that you're trying to get.
Yeah, and so often we think we understand what the other person is thinking or going through, and we don't.
Nope, be the detective.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for the interview today. It is absolutely amazing, and I know so many people are going to get so much out of this. And I'm sure that everyone's going to want you back on the show. Where's Veenu? Bring her back. Bring her back. We want more.
Thank you so much. This has been so great. I love sharing the value, adding value to people's lives. That's what my mission is.
Awesome. Great job. And we do look forward to having you back on the show.
Thank you, Thor.
Thank you for listening. If you haven't already done so, please head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show. Also, please share this with family, friends, coworkers, or anyone that could benefit from this information. To make it very easy to share these episodes, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode that you want to share, and you can post it to your timeline. You just might be helping one of your friends on Facebook by sharing it on your page. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. The email is info@thorconklin. While at the website, please sign up for our weekly newsletter with additional tricks, tips, tools, and psychology on how to be a peak performer. Remember, these episodes are anywhere between 6 and 35 minutes and are meant to be consumed during dot time doing other things. Until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.